Welcome to the Hormone Hub, your go-to source for the conversations every woman in her 40s and 50s needs to have. I'm your host, Kylie Pinwell, your nutritionist helping you navigate your way through perimenopause, menopause and beyond so you can say goodbye to the endless fatigue, unexplained weight gain, hot flushes, PMS, mood changes and more that come on this hormonal roller coaster. If you missed the memo or think this is only for women of a certain age, ladies, it's time to think again. Now sit back, relax and enjoy the show. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest episodes, which are released every week. Share it with your friends, your sweaty sisters. The more we talk, the more we help each other. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hormone Hub. It is Kylie Pinwell here and I am very excited for today's episode. So I had a catch up with one of my ladies who'd been through the Well Balanced Woman program over a year ago. Because I like to check in and, see where everyone's at. And it was really interesting because when I first started working with this lady, Cathy, her anxiety was through the roof. And one of the things she kept saying to me, she goes, "This isn't who I am." And she was actually quite, fragile, for want of a better word. And she had, like a fairly high-level job. She'd just been through COVID, lockdowns, all the things. And, her state of well-being, she was frazzled. And sometimes it's easy for me to sort of look and, have a conversation with the woman. And, first thing, I just want to give her a big hug and tell her that she's going to be okay. But also, too, when I hear this isn't who I am, to me, that's kind of warning bells. It sort of shows that you kind of, have lost a bit of control. So, we're going to listen to Cathy's interview and where she is sort of 12 months now down the track. Now, what happens, I think, with a lot of us, and a lot of my clients are, very much type A clients, and I think you attract like-minded people, right? So, women who are striving to be more, they might have these amazing jobs, like incredibly capable women. So amazing jobs or, good careers, solid, professional identities. They might also be partners, mothers, daughters, sisters. So they're holding the home fort together as well. So they're sort of, I guess the glue of the whole family. Now, Cathy, she'll talk about it here. She was someone, incredibly capable, would sort of push through, do what needed to be done. She, was eating fairly well, and we did make a few tweaks there. She thought she was eating well. Her exercise, was like a lot of us were trained to do in the 80s, the 90s, go hard, go home. So, her exercise that she did, because she knew she had to exercise, it was always full on. She knew she had to meditate. So, she would meditate. But when we actually broke it down, she was just ticking the boxes. Oh, I've eaten well. I've taken my supplements. I've exercised. Why am I, still falling apart? So today I'm going to play you the interview that I did with Cathy just to sort of see like how far she's come. And, she didn't do this in 12 weeks, but across the last 12 months, she has transformed her entire life, which is pretty incredible, insofar as she's made some significant changes by identifying things in her life that were working for her. And, she's got rid of a lot of the things that, just aren't working for her or weren't working for her. So that was sort of where she took what, we did in the program together to the next level. So here is my interview with Cathy. So enjoy. So Cathy, thank you for, coming to share your story. So Cathy joined the Well Balanced Woman, it'd have to be close to 12 months ago now. And has completely transformed her health and her life as well. So Cathy, can you sort of share a little bit for ladies who are curious about, joining the Well Balanced Woman? How are you feeling before you joined the program?
Yeah, okay, Kylie. Yep. As you know, I was a nervous wreck. So when I joined, I was very much living in that fight or flight kind of state, living on adrenaline, trying to pack way too much into my life. Definitely a massive dose of FOMO. Always felt like I had to take every opportunity. And although on one hand, that was great because, I've sort of had a very full and interesting life, it's really caught up with me, towards my 50s. So for me, the program has been really, honestly, life-changing because I've gone from fight or flight to rest and digest, as they call it. And I'm in a different state to where I was 12 months ago.
Yeah, no, that's great. And what sort of physical changes have you noticed?
Huge physical changes. So for me, I think everyone's journey is probably different. For me, it was about looking at some of the bigger issues in my life first. So I had my life structured in a way where I was in constant fight or flight because I was constantly having to keep up with everything I'd set up. So I went through a big process of changing everything, made some massive life changes in terms of how our finances were structured and with properties, etc., and really started to prioritize well-being above anything else. Yeah. I think I hadn't really been prioritizing that. So that was probably the biggest shift. Yeah. And then how I feel now.
Yes. Yeah. I'd love to, we were talking about your cycle earlier. We were talking about your energy levels. Yeah.
So I had a very irregular cycle just prior to starting this. I'd had a regular cycle my whole life, but I suddenly, as perimenopause crept up, I was going from very heavy periods to nothing at all. I was highly anxious. I was definitely in a heightened state of anxiety about all sorts of things. Energy levels weren't great. I was getting a lot of headaches, I remember. I was getting terrible PMT leading up. Really bad, really huge emotional ups and downs. Yes. So the biggest change for me has been coming into a place of calm and centeredness. My periods have actually regulated back to what they were like before. So I'm starting to realize that maybe it wasn't perimenopause. Maybe it was just heightened stress levels affecting my period. Obviously I'm at that age, 51, but it doesn't have to be like that. That's what I've realized.
Yeah, absolutely. Except those things that's normal, but really doesn't have to be.
No. Have to be, it can be a transition period, but it doesn't have to be painful. So that's the difference. Yeah, I'm just relaxed and I don't get the PMT. I don't even know my period's coming now. It's like the old days.
This Hormone Hub episode is sponsored by The Well Balanced Woman. If you've been on a hormonal roller coaster, feeling bloated, your digestion isn't the best, and you're sick and tired of feeling lethargic with your weight creeping up, then this is the right program for you. I'm right there with you across the 12 weeks to hold your hand, and I'll give you a loving kick up the bum if you need it. The Well Balanced Woman is your personalised 4-phase program created to help you regain your energy, balance your hormones and fire up your metabolism so you get the results you're after. The link with all the details is on our show notes or over at kyliepinwell.com/wellbalancedwoman. Yeah, no, that's great. And how about your energy levels?
Definitely. I've always been fairly energetic and had fairly high energy, but definitely more consistent energy now, definitely. Yeah. I think in the afternoon when I used to sort of reach for the chocky bicky, now, I'm in a different state. I don't have to have it.
Yeah.
So no, I noticed my cravings were quite big beforehand. And when I started this program, the cravings really dropped off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And what would you say to any woman who's sort of thinking about joining? She might be on the fence.
Well, I've been there too. I know there's all sorts of considerations in life and life's busy and, finances and all of that. But I just think for me personally, I couldn't afford not to invest in my health because I knew that where I was headed was towards illness. I was out of balance and I knew that down the track I'd be spending a lot more on medical costs and things if I didn't do something proactive and preventative. So for me, it's been the best investment ever because, think of what, if I had developed something, think of what that would have cost.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's ever a time when we can't afford to prioritize our well-being. And I think as women, we need to be advocates for our own health No one else is going to do it for us.
Absolutely.
Until we prioritize it, we're always going to come second. And I think it makes all the difference to your relationships and to your life when you really prioritize and value yourself.
Yeah. No, that's it. And it's your relationship with yourself as well, too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fabulous. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Cathy.
Thanks.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope that sort of gives you a bit of inspiration, definitely to, that it is possible just with baby steps to make those changes. And I think, a lot of women that I work with have gone through this. They've recognized that just that pushing through, being superwoman, having it all, doing it all, just doesn't always work. So sometimes, you need to, break it down and take care of yourself, learn how to manage your stress, learn how to look after your own needs, which then, actually creates a bit of clarity so you can move forward. And this is what the Well Balanced Woman, program is all about. It's helping women, particularly at this busy stage of life where, we've got jobs, we've got careers, we've got families, we've got partners, we've got aging parents. So, we can kind of still be part of that, if we choose to, but also do it in a way that's going to serve us. So if you are going through or you're in the same position as Cathy, then, please why don't you send me a message on Facebook? Why don't you, shoot me an email? My address is on the website and we can figure out, where you are right now and we can put a roadmap together so you don't have to spend, all of this time struggling. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed, hearing Cathy's experience and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. You can head on over to the show notes at kyliepinwell.com/podcast where you'll find all the links and I have a little bonus surprise waiting for you. Before we go, it would mean the world to me if you head on over to your favourite podcast channel, subscribe and leave a review. Make sure to screenshot it, DM it to me so I can thank you personally. Then stay tuned for next week's episode. Can't wait to see you then.